Alright, Warriors, your daily reminder. Check out the Fight series. It is a very unique, fictional, realistic fictional story of veterans getting out of the military. But the thing is, every veteran has a story. Not all veterans have PTSD. Not all veterans experience anything negative. But there are these little details within life of that transition process. Sometimes it can cause triggering moments, whether it's from a song, a phrase, something said, something was done, and it just causes these little, I want to call it like a glitch. Doesn't mean it's going to negatively affect the veteran, but sometimes it's just nice that people are understanding of these little glitches and these little phenomenons, these processes, because every single individual, male, female, officer, regular enlisted, Marine, Army, Airman, it doesn't matter what branch they served. The military, unfortunately, gets described like a cult. And in psychology with that, there's always going to be that transition process. There's this healing process going from a structured environment, living space, mentality, what we say. So it's the jargon, it's people, it's how you carry yourself. It's literally every fiber of a human being. And it's different because civilian life, it's freedom, but not. It's different mentalities. You got different structures all around. For obvious reasons. This video could be very long, just literally me listing out everything you already know about. It's life. It's a different type of life, though. So Fight wants to just give, it barely grazes the surface of it, but it's trying to be a voice for those who feel like they lost theirs. Because oftentimes, many veterans miss the camaraderie. They miss certain aspects of the military. Yeah, it sucked. A lot of it did. But there were so many good things that hit home for us, hit us in our soul because we loved what we did, or we loved wearing the uniform, we loved what it represented, etc. Again, every individual has a story, has a reason why they joined, and has their own just story of when they got in and as they're getting out. Some people don't have a home to go home to. I lived out of my truck when I first got out of the Army. Peanut butter and saltine crackers were my thing. And even though I had jumped into school. So yeah, I paid for my education, but there were some other obstacles I had to also face. Also dealing with some very negative things that were my personal life outside of the military, but some of it involved the military. And I do live in pain 24/7, and the VA denied me. So it's like, there's so many variables, and that's just my story, but there's so many variables for each individual. So Fight wants to bring about that awareness. I understand there are many people already talking about mental health, already trying to promote that veterans' families also have a voice. The children of veterans have a voice, and those are great aspects. But Fight just wants to I guess, just put it in a different point of view, because Fight's all about perspective, that there are many levels of that healing process. Everyone has their own process, their way of handling negative emotions, pain, physical pain, how they're handling maybe toxic leadership, something happened, or simply just the military structure, they actually missed part of it. And now the civilian world, they're just like, well, life still sucks, or life sucks more, or whatever the case is. And they can't go back in for whatever reason. So if y'all can, check out the Fight series. It is 4 novella books. Novellas are basically just short versions of novels. Each book is roughly around 100 pages, but there is a collection edition of all 4 in one. And even if you just read the first book, Fight by Betsy. I am self-published, so it's mainly on Amazon, but there are Audible versions. There's also the collection edition is also available on the Barnes & Noble website only, ebook versions. But if you go to the Fight website, which the link is in my bio, you can find more links to that and make donations and stuff like that, so that I can send books to less fortunate or those who don't have gifts to open on birthdays, Christmas, etc. So Fight is painfully unique, and it's a taboo topic. But I need y'all's help to give honest feedback, honest book reviews, because even some book reviews out there on Amazon and Goodreads, it expresses that it hurt. It made them cry. They can only read 1 page at a time. I've had some veterans give my book to their therapist. I've had my book being given to spouses saying, this is how I feel, and it saved their marriage. I've had a total of about 4 lives saved, plus my own. That's 5 lives saved because of Fight. I've had 2 marriages saved because of Fight. So Fight is on a good warpath. It is on an amazing journey. That's why it's my Fight is my fight. Fight is my story. But at the same time, it's many veteran stories all into one, because the VA doesn't help everybody. Certain organizations out there are trying to reach certain individuals based on their personality, and that's a great thing. Those are great missions to have. But Fight is simply a book series, but it's also a mission. I'm not a 501c, but this mission, these books, are my everything. It is the only reason I'm even on social media. So if y'all can, check out the Fight series, even if it's just one of the books. Read it and leave an honest review on Amazon, Goodreads, wherever you see it published. Talk about it. Give it to friends and families who you think can benefit from it. Just given the different perspective. Why is my veteran different? Read Fight. If you're thinking of counseling, going into the field of psychology, helping counsel veterans in the VA or outside of the VA, read Fight. It's simply just giving that different perspective of how veterans perceive coming back into the civilian world. Now, if you are a veteran, it might help you too. There are many veterans, it hit home for them. I've had people who served in World War II and Desert Storm, wars I wasn't pertaining in, but they were able to get something from it. They said they laughed. They said they cried. They said that it really hit home for them and that it helped them on their own healing journey. Those are amazing testimonies. So, check out the Fight series. Leave honest reviews. But always, keep fighting the fight.